After the liberation of the territories near Malaya Loknya, Russian troops continued not only to advance in several areas, but also began to execute one of the most ambitious plans in modern military history. FPV drone strikes on explosives planted by the enemy destroyed 2 bridges. A little later, FAB 3000 destroyed another one. And from that moment on, the countdown began for the enemy. By the morning of March 8th, on the Kursk direction, Russian assault groups managed to advance significantly in almost all areas. The enemy was finally knocked out of Lebedevka, and Russian forces managed to gain a foothold, advancing from Komarovo to Oleshnya. At the same time, a daring plan was carried out. Under conditions of absolute secrecy, assault troops from several units went to the rear of the Ukrainian units' positions through an underground pipe. Having got out of the gas pipe near a large forest belt, part of the Russian armed forces fighters moved northward. By noon on March 9th, they liberated Kubatkin north of Sudzha. At the same time, the Russian flag was raised over Malaya Loknya. From the east, fighters of the 30th Regiment came to their aid, having finally liberated Cherkasko-Porechnoe and bypassed Pravda and Ivashkovsky. Help also came through the forest belt from the direction of Nikolskoye. By midday, a fairly large cauldron was formed in the north of the Sudzhansky District. More and more footage of the retreating enemy appeared online. The AFU were retreating on foot and using vehicles. They were losing dozens of vehicles under drone strikes near destroyed bridges. Moreover, the Ukrainian General Staff primarily exposed to attack not those who had stormed the border and tried to break through to Kurchatov, but newly mobilized soldiers and territorial defense units. Meanwhile, the situation south of the pipeline exit remains shrouded in the fog of war. Russian fighters are allegedly trying to gain a foothold in Sudzha as well, but it is premature to talk about this without objective control footage. It is not excluded that the backup also managed to get through from the side of Martinovka, considering the fact that since yesterday there have been reports of fighting on the outskirts of the Sudzhansky agglomeration, and in the evening the flag was raised over the administration of the village. At the same time, another part of the operation to cut the AFU's communications south and southwest of Sudzha continues. Russian troops are rushing towards the state border and the highway to Yunakovka. The highway is already clogged with destroyed vehicles from Ukrainian military formations, but only the boots of Russian soldiers can finalize the encirclement of the occupying forces. The fighting continues. The enemy is trying to resist with all its might. And on the background of such a large-scale defeat, the enemy may well try to carry out some provocation. Tattered but withdrawn from the cauldron units may try to break the border at another section. The Kiev regime will try by all means to divert attention. Therefore, suicide attacks and massive UAV launches in the rear regions cannot be ruled out. The Kiev regime is still far from its collapse.